top fame company, that is my speaking topic. I'm the only person in the speaker list who's focusing on helping you get your job and get your foot in the door. There are a lot of the content that I share in or will be sharing that will not be on any of my public website as well as my YouTube channel. Okay, so you make sure you don't want to miss that. I spend a good 15 minutes to walk you through what you should be doing before you start creating your story so you don't fumble all over the place, wasting your time and being really flustered of not knowing if it's even the right story for Amazon. Okay, not knowing if you're making sense, if you have the relevancy in your achievement that you're trying to share with your audience, aka the interviewer. Okay, you don't want to miss that. The second part of my talk, it's only half an hour long, by the way. I will be in the event all day. It is based in India time zone, but I will be. I'm physically not going to be there because of the pandemic. If not, I would love to. Wouldn't that be awesome? To be flown to India from AWS to do a talk. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So everything will be virtual and everything will be recorded for you, professional. Okay. The link is right in the live chat. So make sure you click on the link and register for September 24th. And if I were you, I will also put that on your calendar as a woman event day. Okay. I'm not seeing any comment. I am going to assume that I made a mistake. It is rare for me to not have any comment. That is because the reason why I turned this into a paid live stream only is so that I can keep up with all the comments from the community member. So if you guys can have a little patience, give me a quick minute to look through, make sure my setting is correct. I know it's correct, but something is not right here. I'm not sure what is wrong, so give me a moment and I will figure that out for you guys, okay? The whole purpose of me doing this is to answer all of your Q&A. But if you ain't asking question, I ain't sitting here looking at the screen. I'm kidding. Okay. I'm almost there, guys. Just give me a quick second. Let me try to look at go live into my streaming software just to make sure I don't do anything funky. I highly doubt it, but it is odd. Let's see here. Well, I can tell that there are people watching. This is so weird. I apologize, guys. It's probably me that I've done something. This is so odd. Hello, hello, Hannah. Hannah, how are you? Let me move this back. If you are watching about 5 minutes ago, I apologize. I don't know what I have done wrong. That is for the cause of black coffee, but please do forgive me. I just wanted to go back to my original screen. Sorry, guys. I'm almost there. I promised. I'm almost there. Okay. Hang on a second, guys. Okay, here we are. And if you have left, please do come back and let's hang out. Hannah, how are you? My number one rock star killing it in the VIP coaching cohort, which is this right here to teach you all how to create your story. Today is a big, heavy topic on creating your story, if you guys haven't figured that out already, because I feel that when it comes to having the right story, a lot of the people, I can tell you this because in the VIP coaching cohort where I actually reviewed all of your stories and your branding, of course, and everything else that comes along with it, the number one common mistake that I've seen, and I'm not saying this out of my back, I'm saying this because I've actually coached nearly 200 people and everyone makes the same mistake. No one really take a moment to talk about how they're able to deliver results. How? The how part is so critical, guys. Even if you don't call it the STAR method, let's throw that in the toilet, okay? Just call it what problem you're trying to solve. What did you do to solve the problem? Not spending your time in describing what the problem is or describing why you're solving the problem. 99% of the folks do that, but spend the time into peeling layers of onions, okay? If you're going to build a solution, sorry guys, if you're going to build a solution, why are you building a solution for? Who are you building it for? Why is it critical for you to do that? How do you even know what to build? What data are you looking at? What are you measuring on? And once you have that part, how do you start building it? Who did you leverage? Did you get buy-ins from your leadership team? What was the budget that you were going after and why those numbers? You see where I'm going? So to get through an Amazon interview specifically, you have to be so data driven in comparison of where you are at. What is the gap that you're trying to fill? And how do you bridge the gap? Okay. Many people don't think about that. They just think, okay, if I use the STAR formula and if I fill a half a page or one page answer, I'm good. No, it's all in your content and how you're able to deliver result quickly that makes sense. And I get so many folks either in my YouTube community or in my coaching cohort. Excuse me, let me remove this for a second. In my coaching cohort that says, Holly, it's I don't understand. It takes me 5 minutes to talk about my situation. By the way, your situation in the STAR method is what are you trying to tell us? What is your point? What is your purpose? Your situation should never be more than one sentence, right? At ABC Company, um, we were going through a turmoil because of ABC. And the problem I'm trying to solve here is this. Done. I'm done. You see how quickly that is? So a lot of people get fumbled. So rather than asking or seek to understand, they invest so much of their effort into doing it the wrong way, and then they get demotivated. All right. So stop doing that. Stop everything that you're doing. I have a link, the first link I have in 12 minutes to focus on storytelling, step-by-step examples to help you get there, okay? Those are my top pick questions. At the bare minimum, you need to understand what the top interview questions are. Secondly, you need to understand the framework and how you can create your story. I call it the STAR method because I don't know how else to call it. I did not invent the STAR method, nor did Amazon. I don't know who did, but different company calls it different thing. I know that at the aerospace or government industry, they call it the SAR, situation, action, and result. Some company call it, what do they call it? Problem to solve and how you solve it and the result. How, like as mentioned, it doesn't matter what you want to phrase it, but the bottom line is you need to be very clear. Who on earth are you? Why are you solving the problem? Who are you solving the problem for? Okay, now walk me through. Why is it so important for you to overcome this? What are your action plans? What is your plan? Don't know what your plans are? Nope. Then you're not going to get that job. Okay? You need to have an action plan. It is a lot more simplistic than you think. So don't work up onto doing that rather than spending the effort and trying to figure out and this is just common mistakes that I've seen. When you don't know what to write, you just put every single thing on there that fill out the entire pages. Nobody will have time to listen to that. Okay. You've got 10 seconds in any interview, in any corporate workplace conversation. Even if you're an internal employee for any company at all, you got 10 seconds. When you speak more than 30 seconds or 1 minute, you've lost them. And what does that translate to? Your credibility would go down. All right. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not teaching you. I'm not just an interview coach, but I'm teaching you to truly communicate in a corporate way where when you do make it in these top tech companies, you're gonna do really, really well because of the way you write with reasoning, right? Every single thing that you write, if you're interested in working for companies like Amazon, it is rare, probably 1 out of 100 people who come into my live coaching or my live stream are all Amazon. So that's why I'm focusing on Amazon. But if you guys have Facebook or Google, any other company for me, please do throw me a bone here. I would love that. It gets me very excited to do so. Okay. Constant Price. Thank you so much for being here every single week and supporting my work. Abiyata, hello, Abiyata, how are you? Gabe, hello, Gabe. Thank you so much for the super chat, Gabe. If you guys are not ready to become a member or joined, you're more than welcome to super chat in any amount that you want so I can answer your question. So, Gabe, do let me know if you have any question for me, okay? And Hannah, you've done a fabulous job. I asked Hannah, I said, first of all, I was blown away. She came into my cohort and I didn't really have to fix her story at all. That is so Rare, yes. Yes, Hannah, that is so rare for me because generally it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to understand the foundation and the rhythm, your beat. Okay. Everything we do, there's got to be a beat, right? For her, when she came in, it was so perfectly written where I knew exactly what her role was, what she was solving for, why was it important for her to solve the problem. And it was so clear in her action plan, all the step quickly that she was able to deliver result with a huge impact. And when I asked Hannah, I said, "What? Share your best practices. How did you come up to speed so quickly? It's amazing." And she's not even based in the U.S. And on top of that, there's a time gap. Okay, I'm not going to disclose where you are in the world, Hannah, to everyone who's watching. And she mentioned that it was through my video. So I put 2 links in the live chat. The first link is your story. If you follow it to a T, I'm telling you, professionals, couple thousands of folks land a job offer for free just by watching all of my video. Okay. Those are the one who probably have practiced many times, like 100 times. Therefore, they land a job at Amazon and other FANG companies. The second video is that just one video alone, it tells you exactly what to do to a T. On top of that, it tells you where to download my template for the most innovative thing that I've done. Okay, so I'm offering you free resources. You don't need to go anywhere else. It's on here. It's on those 2 links where it tells you how to create your story with the questions that all these companies are going to ask you. Even if you have the Microsoft, the Facebook, and the Google, not Facebook, I'm sorry, Google and Microsoft specifically, they're both in Seattle as well. They focus so much on hypothetical question. What does that mean? That means how many windows are there in Seattle? That means why is the manhole round? I don't know why they ask those questions. Indeed, they still ask those questions, okay? Not it's there's an inconsistency. I'm not saying that every single position will be asked. I truly think that it has so much to do with the interviewer, but they will ask, even though with those hypothetical questions come with commonly asked behavioral question. That's why I'm so passionate about that, okay? And by the way, in the VIP cohort or my Star Interview Accelerator, the one thing in common, it's my star template. When I say my star template, I'm talking about a list of my top 20 questions. You don't need to do 100 questions, just 20 multiplied by 2. I'm asking you to have 2 examples for every single questions. If I ask for 3, you will be overwhelmed. You are already struggling in learning how to create your story. I feel that if I were to coach you to get, for example, the Amazon leadership principle that everybody says, when I say everyone, I literally mean everyone, ex-Amazonian. Um, great content, by the way, of my peers in the community and other coaches who teaches about Amazon. But if you're focusing all your energy in creating 2 to 3 example on every single leadership principle, it is 16 times 2. It's 16 LP now, by the way, guys, and not 14. If you do the math, that's what, 30 plus, okay? That's like 30 plus example. That's 2 example. Now, if you have 3 example, you're talking about 45, 50. My math is poor, forgive me. But if you're able to create that many story and then you already have an interview that's coming, you don't have enough time. Okay? So my coaching is a little bit more simplistic. Everyone's style is very different. What's my cup of tea is to deliver knowledge to you as quickly as possible, but to help your brain trigger into only remembering the important content. And that's my star template, my star spreadsheet that comes with all of these questions. And also in either my Star Accelerator or my VIP cohort, there's a lot of example on there for you to follow. Okay. So many of you guys have been in there and result in being an Amazonian within 3 weeks. I have 45 people who landed a job in less than 1 month just by being in the cohort. Okay. I'm sharing this part of information because I'm highly aware that 60 to 70% of the folks who's watching right now already have an interview at Amazon and that 40% have failed interview. Okay. Even if you have failed interview, don't worry about it. Amazon ain't going anywhere. You can always re-interviewed with even the same team even, but you have to look at the position and where the misses before, you can reapply. Okay. And I don't recommend people to just reapply for a job. You don't want to be that person who's got felt interviewed, who are in the system, who applied to a bunch of jobs. Rather than doing so, why don't you go ahead, click on my playlist on my main channel and look at the whole playlist called Networking Strategies, where you're actually going to get hiring managers responding to you. Okay? So there you have it, guys. I wanted to make sure that I spent the first 10 minutes to give you a little prep talk per se. And I'm ready to check in with the gang here. See if you guys have any questions. Satya, thank you so much for the super chat. And I want it to go from top down. And Hannah, for the last time, I'm so proud of you. I have never seen anyone who have understand the foundation of how I explained the STAR method. Eventually, I'm going to call it something else because I like to be original. I don't like talking about, for example, the STAR method. Who even invented it? Nobody knows. I feel like it's over exaggerated now that everyone start talking about the STAR method. So as soon as my brain is smart enough to think about another way to phrase it, I'm just going to say STAR for now. But congratulations, Hannah. Carolyn. Hey, Carolyn. Thank you for coming back. Good seeing you on Tuesday. Yes, Carolyn. I am so behind on my LinkedIn messages right now. This is my LinkedIn, by the way. Should you be interested in connecting with me to learn more about how myself or my team can support you, I'm the only Holly Lee who's an ex-Amazonian and also coming from a recruiting and career coaching background. Okay. So I'm behind on my LinkedIn messages because for the last 2.5 weeks, I'm going to 3 weeks. I've been so sick. I don't really know why. I've had literally all the medication that you can think of from my physician, and they don't really know why as well. Which is why I'm so excited to have another cup of coffee today. This is a win for me. My Friday win is coffee. Yes. Can a girl please get some emoji coffee in the live chat? If you can do that, it truly motivates me. It's letting YouTube know that there is engagement. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel because it truly helped my channel grow so I can continue pumping out content like this for you all. Okay? Abiyata. Let's see what kind of question you have for me today. Abiyata says, I did my second virtual interview with Amazon for an IT support engineer. A client lead recruiter mailed that I was successful, but the role had been filled. Please, what next step should I take? Well, rather than asking me what steps should you take, you should be asking the recruiter what is the next step you should be taking. If you have result in an offer, the support engineer has a lot of other relevant role as well. Okay. The first thing I would do is to look, number one, you need to leverage your recruiter. And I hope by now you have already sent the hiring managers and every single person who have interviewed you for the on-site loop. Okay. Connect with them. Because if the hiring manager have a good interaction with you, hence why you've made it through the whole loop, they will reconsider you when there's more opportunity. Again, it's Amazon. There's always more opportunities, right? I would ask the hiring manager to keep in touch, and if they could refer you to other org within Amazon, yes, the hiring manager and the recruiter as well. Don't be afraid, guys. Don't be so afraid to leverage employees at Amazon. When I say employees, I'm talking about the hiring managers. Don't be scared. If you put all your effort on just the recruiter is just really busy. And let's be honest, not all recruiters know what they're doing, right? So the hiring managers have peer set for the entire org, whatever org that is. I'm assuming AWS in this case. So you want them to work for you rather than you working so hard to find the next fit. You want them to work for you and get back to you. Let me know if that makes sense, okay? And this is very common. You spend your time, it sounded like they were building the pipeline, and that is the right thing to do, right? You don't want to stop interviewing until a candidate have accepted the offer. That also tell me the support engineer role is a role that they hire a lot in all the org. It's not just AWS. So I would try to figure out where it is. I would also do a job search on LinkedIn. for Amazon, just worldwide, and see what other org has the job posting. Because if there's a job posting, you'll know who the recruiter is for different teams and reach out to them. Okay? This is what I mean, guys. Don't be so overwhelmed and frustrated. Just take 10 knot down. Just pull yourself all the way down to the ground and be simplistic. Things don't have to be complicated. Don't make them complicated. Position fill, great. Reach out to them. See where else you're a good fit. Not responding to you, well, that's shitty because you spend your time interviewing and you made it this far. They should do you a favor into making sure that they are maintaining that good relationship with you. Okay? Constant. Where are you and how are you and what are you up to, Constant Price? I don't know why, but the YouTube algorithm love thumbs up emoji in the chat. I don't know. And also in the video as well. Okay. It shows engagement. Sometimes I get funny comment and I don't delete them anymore. Now I'm starting to respond to every single comment on YouTube because I do care about your thoughts. I do care if my content is adding value, what is missing for you, or if you're lost, I will directly straight to the right playlist so you're not wasting your time. And by the way, for those who are watching and are new, there's quite a few of you right now. And only half of you guys are giving me a thumbs up. If you're watching, you're really shy, give a girl a thumbs up because that really motivates me to keep on showing up live for you guys every single week, twice a week. Okay. And back to you. Being a part of my community member, you also get access to the community view. That's very different, which is in my main channel, there's a community tab. If you click on that, there's a list of questions to ask the interviewer where I've created it in a PowerPoint to make it pretty for you to save you time. You see where I'm going? There's also templates as well on your storytelling. And I will be putting in more stuff such as interview checklists, so on and so forth to help you so that you don't have to do your Google search or God knows where you go to find resources. I want this to be a powerhouse for Fame Company for my YouTube channel. It's happening, guys. It's happening. I just have to stop being sick. It is happening and it is coming, okay? And for those who are joining a little bit late, the link is right here. It's in the live chat as well as in the video right now is womanintech.aws ug.in, which is India. All right. That is a registration link. Absolutely free, by the way. It's virtual. Everything will be online and you get to hear the talk about entrepreneurial, giving you inspiration, motivation from other speakers. They look like they're fabulous speakers. And my topic is purely on focusing on FANG companies and how should I get you in getting that job offer in your hand. Okay. Oh, you're from Bangalore. Hello. YV Yvonne, if I'm correct. Hey, YV. All righty. Yes. You know, if it wasn't because of the pandemic and this is going to be speaking live, I would be flying my butt to India already. It is actually one of the places I've always wanted to visit, but never the right time. Now that I'm a mom, it's harder. But heck, if Amazon says, Holly, are you interested to fly to India to do a talk for AWS? Yes. Yes. Joey Star, how are you, my friend Joey Star? Let's go with Doris. Hello, Doris. How are you, Doris? Okay, Gabe. Gabe. What is your question for me, Gabe? This font is really bugging me, guys. I know I've said this before, but let me... Okay. Oh, that's a lot easier on the eye. Gabe says, I've been banging banging your videos. I have a loop interview next Wednesday. Super nervous. What happened if I do bad in one of the 5 interviews I have? That's an excellent question. Okay. Gabe is asking, what happened if basically all of the interviewer is inclined and one person is not inclined to hire him? Guess what, Gabe? That's more common than you thought. It is rare to have an all inclined loop. Okay. Very rare. There's a few things. The first thing you got to understand is that the people who are interviewing you guys don't all have your background. Okay. A lot of you guys don't come from a software or e-commerce or, like a cloud infrastructure company background, even though you have the technology experience. Okay. I hope that makes sense. The second thing is that that's why creating your story to extreme conciseness is so important to you with the first link I put in the live chat that's giving you example and walking you through, Gabe, okay? Because when you're creating your story, if your story is that good, the ultimate goal here is, and my teaching is, you are going to explain what you've done where high school kids is going to understand you. Okay, that's not a good analogy. Where a college kid is kind of, let's get them a little bit older, up here a little bit. They're going to understand you. Let me explain what I mean by that. Because as mentioned, they don't come from your industry, okay? For instance, if you come from aerospace and you have a lot of those experience or military background, I'm totally making this up. In your story, you don't talk military or aerospace. You talk exactly on how you're smart enough to think big, to be creative in solving the problem. And that, my friend Gabe, it's how you're going to get hired. Okay. All the interviewers at Amazon, at any company at all, they're not looking for you to have all the experiences. They just want to know if you're smart, if you're able to roll up your sleeve, right? And figure things out on your own. Figure it out on your own before asking questions. If you are one who are really struggling in your in your questions for especially the on-site loop, the biggest thing I can tell you is make sure you ask the interviewer to repeat the questions and you got yourself 10 seconds, take a pause, to take a deep breath, and then provide an answer. What you don't want to do is keep on asking the interviewer to repeat the question, right? But you could do it every now and then, but don't do it too often. Okay? So that is why it's very common to have one person who didn't like your answer or is just not or is missing some part of the data that they're looking for. If you wanted to make sure that you're getting 5 thumbs up, here's the biggest tip I can give you guys, okay? Let me have a sip of coffee. And that is, it's very, very simple. At the end of every single interview of the 5 people in your loop, simply just ask them, was I able to answer all of your question? Because if you look at their eye contact, by the way, on a virtual interview, if you are part of my YouTube community, I made a post inside my community on YouTube. Okay. It also has a video interview to tell you what to be prepared for video interview. The biggest thing for you to get for, if anything, I want you to think about this. You don't spend your time in looking at the interviewer. It looks like you're cheating. You're reading your notes versus the image or the video of the interviewer. Put them as close as a camera lens or right underneath the camera lens. Like what I'm doing to you right now. I'm literally looking at the lens and I'm looking at the chat screen is right underneath my camera lens. So it doesn't look like I'm doing this. It doesn't look like I'm doing this or doing this. My second monitor, I'm doing this. You see where I'm going? So you don't want to be wandering everywhere. One thing to keep in mind when it comes to video is that things move a lot slower in slow motion. You may be doing this really fast, but in video, it looks like you're slowly taking your sweet time in cheating by reading your note. You do not want to do that, okay? So it's very important that you look at the camera lens and move the interviewer close to it. I would say every now and then as you're talking or explaining your answer, just take a glance at them very quickly to see if the eye contact is there. If the interviewer is giving you no eye contact whatsoever, you don't know if you've done a good job. Just ask them. If they're doing this, you hear this? Typing? Actually, like this. Hang on. You hear this typing? It's highly, highly super annoying to me. A lot of the Amazonian interviewer does that. I absolutely hate it with a passion because it's not personable. I get it. They need to put the feedback in. When I was there, I taught making quick hiring decision where I teach every single interviewer to not do this versus just type one quick sentence or write it out where they can remember your answer and their notes rather than putting in word by word. Okay, I also call it lazy because they don't want to, as interviewer, they don't want to spend the time in thinking, but it helps for an interviewer to help out the candidates, you guys, so that you're comfortable. If not, your nerve will kick in because they are not paying attention to you. If an interviewer is not looking at your eye contact, this is what I want you to do, Gabe. I want you to look at the interviewer and say, was I able to answer your question? I was just making sure. I know that you're busy typing. Yes, I am that way. Yes, I do call them out. What's going to happen? Don't give me a job because I'm calling you out? Then don't give me a job. You see where I'm going? It's also having backbone, insist on higher standard. It's also against Amazon's leadership principle when people don't acknowledge you. Okay? That's one of the biggest tip I'm giving you right now. And as an interviewer, if you're saying that to me, I actually would appreciate that. I would be apologetic and I will give you a brownie point because you have the nerve to put me in my place. It's not a bad thing, okay? Alrighty. YV. Yes, that's right. We've connected on LinkedIn. Absolutely. Would love to catch up. Constant Pry. Yes, Constant. I think most of my YouTube Pay member are on vacation. This is the least amount of people I've ever had ever in live streaming over a year, which is good because I get to spend more time with you guys and hang out with you. Abbas! Hello, Abbas. How are you? Another one of my VIP coaching cohort is in the house. You see how much joy I have when my customer shows up? Alrighty. Okay. Constant says, I'm doing okay for the right position in customer service. Don't want to be on the phone all day, maybe half on the phone, then answering email through the company website to resolve problems. What do you mean by that, Constant Price? What do you mean by you're looking for the right position in customer service? Don't want to be in the phone all day. Constant Price, if you are interested in me reviewing your LinkedIn profile, my friend, I'm more than happy to right now. Okay? Right now, Constant. All you have to do is let me know. I know that we're connected on LinkedIn. I'm more than happy to pull it up right now and share my screen. If that is your cup of tea, just let me know. Guys, I know that many of you guys reach out to me privately on LinkedIn to review your resume and your LinkedIn. Please don't do that. I can't do that privately on LinkedIn because, as you can see, when I review your profile, it takes time to do that. And I don't like doing things half-assed. That's just not who I am. So for me to pour my heart and soul and passion into my work, which is coaching you, I like to take my sweet time so that you can gain the benefit of the data that you're receiving, okay? So if you're interested, let me know right here. If you can provide a link for me right here in the chat, that would be perfect. In your case, Constant, I know exactly who you are. I can pull it up. Stella, how are you, Stella? Stella says, I have both B2B account sales, a bit business development, and marketing communication, branding experience in the tech industry. I'm aiming for marketing role. That's cool. It's if you have all those experience, you could be a biz dev, account manager, sales, marketing, even business operation. You see where I'm going, Stella? One may think that they're fit for one role or another. You don't have to have all of the position title because Amazon is so broad. There's just so many different a variety of position that you could have at Amazon that you could be a potential fit for. Okay? Tanya, how are you? Okay, Stella says, how do I use my sales experience as an advantage? Also, for the SLW, what is an SLW, Stella? I have no experience like Salesforce. Do you suggest I put skills like Salesforce Basic if I'm trying to learn how? That's a good question. First of all, do not ever, never put anything using the word basic, intermediate, advanced. It sounds like you don't have any experience. You just graduated from high school. Do not do that, okay? When you don't, unless you have the knowledge, Amazon is not, or employer are not interested to know if you have exposure. They're interested to know if you can do it and know those tools well. If you don't know how to use Salesforce, I wouldn't put it on there. But if you have used Salesforce before, it's really easy. You can figure it out. It's just a CRM system. Then I will put it. And your second question is, should I put the skills on there? You should have the skills on your LinkedIn and your resume as part of your branding anyway, right? If not, the recruiters would never find you. You see where I'm going? If your passion is to get into a marketing role, the word marketing needs to be smear. La 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 smear. Wow, all over your resume and your LinkedIn profile. Those are the key buzzword, okay? Unless it's on there, the recruiter just can't find you. So it's really important for you to have that. And if you guys are ever interested, I have a 50% discount branding course. This is my resume and my LinkedIn accelerator for one price because you need both. You can't have one and not the other. There's similarity and there's also things that differentiate the two as well. Let me move this. It's bugging me. Okay. So it's basically taking my own resume and tearing it apart, explaining to you how I'm able to put a lot of those high level with depth on there. And I talked about so much. I also gave you interview tips on how you should be preparing for your stories in the Resume Accelerator. Okay? Hope that helped. Living in a new country with almost 3 years gap. Stella, it's okay. There's so many people with several years gap. Even I think the most gap I've helped was a couple stay-home mom who hasn't worked for 4 to 5 years, and they result in multiple job offer. At the end of the day, is your storytelling. Okay, let me give you guys an example. I haven't been working for a corporate in over 2 years. 2000, what year are we in? 2019. Yeah, 2.5 years now. So if I have to go back, let's just say that I am a recruiting leader for Google, okay? Then my mindset would need to change. I need to talk less career coaching and back to the root that I know the words, the terminology that the company care about, which is talk about delivering results and business impact relating to the role that I'm interviewing for. You see where I'm going? It's okay if you have a gap, but it's more importantly, what are you doing to make sure that your skills hasn't gone down and you're still able to deliver the way that you used to? You see where I'm going? Joey, would you review my LinkedIn, my anonymous LinkedIn profile? Anonymous LinkedIn profile. I cannot review your LinkedIn profile in a live stream unless it's showing your name. I'm not sure what the question is. Joey, if you're interested in me reviewing your LinkedIn profile, please let me know and I can pull it up right now on my screen. But it is going into the live chat. And what I can do is I can save this and not make it public. Okay? Let me know if you're okay with that. That means that only pay YouTube member can see it, not for the rest of the world. All right? Satya says, I lost in Loop interview a month ago. When I apply for the same position again after 3 months, will they start from the beginning? I mean, written test, phone interview, and Loop. Yes, they would. They would because, well, I shouldn't say they would. Depending on your feedback, if you have failed interviewed, reapplying is not a smart thing to do. You need to figure out how to create your story better and how to articulate yourself. The one thing I want all of you guys to do is be honest with yourself, guys. Be honest with who you are. If you have a failed interviewed, your gut can tell you you're not ready to get the job if you reapply 1 time, 3 times, 50 times, 100 times. Why are you guys all reapplying for job? Right? I have a whole playlist that's called Fail Amazon Interviewed so that you all can stop doing that. When you keep on replying for a job, it makes you look really bad in front of the employer. Okay? Because everything is staying in their system forever. Even if you're an Amazonian, all the recruiters and hiring managers have access to your profile. You see where I'm going? So rather than reapplying, take 3 months' time. Take 3 months and start thinking back of the type of question that's being asked in your interview and what was your response. Okay? If you ask yourself this, did you have 20 story when you're going into those interviewed? I'm pretty sure the answer is no because 99% of my customer is no. Even if you have those questions, how many time did you actually spend to be good to yourself in recording yourself? Usually I get like 5, 10 max. It's more like 50 to 100 times. Okay. And if you need more help, that's what my VIP coaching is. Because a lot of people, when they have failed interview already, it's going to take them about 3 months in the VIP coaching where I have to break you down and teach you how to think really deep into creating your story. One thing. Step 2, how to articulate your communication. That's why it takes a couple of months. Okay. It takes a lot of time for customers who like to speed things up and who like to like go to the race. And I like to give them the same analogy of running for a full marathon, which I used to be a marathon runner. Yeah, I used to be in much better shape when I was single about 10 plus years ago, living in San Francisco. The last marathon I ran was either the Golden Bridge. I think they call Bridge to Bridge full marathon, or the women's Nike marathon. And the first full marathon I ran, I don't know what I was thinking. I gave myself 2 months to prep, and I would run 2 to 3 times a day rather than every other day because my legs are so sore and it's painful. Um, in short, I didn't do well because I was having a hard time breathing. I didn't know how to sustain my momentum, my endurance as I'm running because you can't stop. When you stop and go or stop at all instead of doing the long distance, you just have to pace yourself. So why am I sharing this running and prepping for a full marathon story with you guys? Prepping for a job interview is no different. Okay? You can't go from zero to hero overnight. You cannot. Cannot. And so many of you guys, when you reach out to me on LinkedIn, the first thing I ask you is, do you have an interview? When is your interview? Please save you and me time here so we don't go back and forth, which is why I don't do consultation, because the problem that I'm trying to solve for my customer are all the same. You are having a hard time landing Fang interview, and I can tell you what the problem is. You're lacking branding. You don't know how to create your story because you're not self-aware of what other roles you're a good fit for. And you don't know how to translate your business impact into the real world top tech company. That's why you couldn't make it through. Okay? And writing out your story is going to take you about some time, couple of weeks to a month to master, and then your communication skill. As you guys can hear, this is not just interview prepped. If you guys can get the foundation of everything that I just mentioned to you, you will be so successful in an Amazon environment. I promise you. Because at Amazon, I have never written any paper. I've written a lot of paper. I was a manager as well. I'm a manager for many, many years at Amazon as well, where every single performance reviewed, especially promo doc, Lord, they used to be 10 to 15 pages. I think now they're cutting down to, I heard rumor that it's down to like 3 to 5 pages or so. But anyway, back then it was a very long-winded promo doc. I try to get my people promoted, right? And also writing proposal to get a budget approval to expand my recruiting team and building dev center around the world. So every single thing that is important in my leadership meeting, guess what you have to do at Amazon? You got to write a paper about that, which is why my coaching cohort, my VIP, is to teach you how to write and teach you how to articulate what you have done. Okay? It's not just interview prep. It's a big part of interview prep combined with how you should be successful in a corporate environment. And guess what? When I left Amazon and started my journey at Facebook, I remember putting my first PowerPoint presentation together. No one asked me to do this, by the way. I've just learned how to be very visual, very concise to the point. And my leadership team on the recruiting side and the business team were very impressed from the content that's in there. That is because those are all the skills that I've gained for being at Amazon in an environment where it's constantly pushing me to be better. Again, I have never really written anything where my boss or just any leadership would say, "Wow, Holly, that's a really good paper." Never, not once. In fact, there's a lot of feedback on, well, you should be more concise here or so on and so forth. You see where I'm going? You're never going to be perfect, but I'm trying to get you to win. You don't have to be perfect to win. You guys know that, right? You just have to be good. You need to make sense, and you need to be able to deliver what you have done. I hope that shed some light into you guys. I felt that today's live stream is all around storytelling and interviewing prep. I'm going to repurpose this video, which is probably going to be out next Monday or Wednesday. And I am probably going to move this video into member mode only for you guys to rewatch. Okay. So I'm sharing a lot of details here regarding your communication skill, written and verbal, because I'm setting you up for those top companies. All right. Tech companies are very, very different. Tech company and consulting company, they don't even speak the same language. If you have something important to say, show them. Show them and make sure that they understand. Stay high level with depth and breadth. All right, Satya. Satya, I really hope that have answered your question. Okay. You welcome, Stella. Nawal. Hello, Nawal. Welcome, Nawal. Community member, please show a welcome to our newest member. And sorry, I have to look at my second screen. May you review, can't paste the link here as YouTube will remove a message. Oh, I didn't know that. Looking for product manager. Okay, cool. All right, let's review a LinkedIn profile for Mr. Joey Starr. I'm going to pull it up on my second screen, okay? By the way, guys, this video, if I am reviewing your profile, I will make sure that when I do a recap, I will take that out, okay? Joey Starr. Stars. Okay. I know we're connected on LinkedIn, Joey, so let me... Joey Starr, are you Joey Lee? I'm going to say, thanks, I will send detail the next... To make session useful for everyone, I remove the sensitive information. Excellent! Smart man. Okay. Would you review my... Okay, great. Okay, Joey. I just want to make sure. I know you can change whatever you want to. To make the session useful for everyone, I remove the sensitive info with comparable qualification. Smart man. Okay. So I'm going to review this LinkedIn profile. And I will share my screen. Uno momento, por favor. Let me go ahead and... There you go. Let me make this a little bigger. Okay. Let me... Okay, I'm just making it a little bit bigger so you guys can see more of the content. Okay. All right. Number one in any... By the way, I love this cut and paste photo. It looks like you got it from a magazine. Good for you, Joey. You do whatever you can. Whatever you can. No judgment here, okay? Number one, in a LinkedIn profile, you always want to have a channel art that represents your brand and your industry. Number two, when it comes to head photo, you don't want to be that big where you're eating someone's face. So if you look at my LinkedIn profile, look at it as inspiration. Number three, your headline is very into your qualification and the role that you wanted to get into. Product management, data science, advanced analytics is not necessary. I would just call it analytics. Okay, you can put it on there if you want to, but advanced analytics is not really a buzzword, but analytics are. I would also put down the industry you came out of, okay? Look at this. It looks like someone's been following instruction. Excelente. Yes, I love it. So you see this right here, Joey, global product. I would just say global product manager is a huge buzzword. Right here, just put the word global product management or global product manager on here. Okay, moving along. I don't like this inconsistency. You see how right here, it just doesn't look clean. I will give it a space before you go to challenge. That way it's not crammed together and your words are not pretty. Make it prettier, okay? Again, you can always look at my LinkedIn profile as inspiration, all right? Your LinkedIn profile should not just focus on your achievement, but since this is a master program, you could just leave it on there. It's okay, especially when you are in a master program who is doing a lot of heavy data, heavy data type of work, data mining, machine learning, and all that. Yes, that is something that you can put on there. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. You're not what I call, you are absolutely not a new grad, Joey. Okay. Because you were a product manager. Okay. Look at this meat. We need fixing on your LinkedIn profile. Here's what I would do for you. Okay. Number one, your master's program is shadowing all of your industry experience. Let me have a moment here. Forgive me, guys. Forgive me, recruiters. You guys know that a lot of recruiters are kind of lazy. I'm just going to call it like it is. I make that bold statement because I know quite a number of thousand and I work with a lot of people. Not a whole lot would spend their time and read your LinkedIn profile word by word or your resume. So here's a recommendation for you. I don't want to see the first thing on your resume as a master's program. Get rid of all of this. I would just copy all of this. No one cares about all of this, like your award and all of this stuff here. Okay. I will copy all of that and put it under your education right here. Okay. Normally, I would ask you to remove the date of your education. Are you still in school? I'm not, because it says to 2021. If not, I would simply just remove the date and just put everything you have on here. That way, you're eliminating a lot of biases. So the interviewer or hiring manager doesn't think that you just got a master's degree and you're new grad. You're not a new grad. You have industry experience right here. Okay. So remove everything has to do with your master under the master to stay consistent. The first thing I should see in your work history is this one right here as a product director. You follow instruction to a T. It makes me so proud, Joey. Love this. Love, love, love. Excellent. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Make sure you put the numbers in the end. When you guys add number, it's really streamlining your scope as well as your scale. Okay, so don't forget that part. Product owner, yeah, man, you have some really awesome experiences. I see you being a potential fit as a technical program manager. To be honest, technical program manager or technical product manager or product manager technical. The reason why I say technical is because from your academia background and your work history, you came from a software engineering background. You have a really strong networking infrastructure because I'm looking at solution architect, which tells me you have that infrastructural background as well. Okay, so what exactly do you want to do? If you're a product manager, let me give you guys a big bonus tip here. Product management is non-tech. So if you want to make more money, you have to put the word tech in front of it. So I would try to look at position who are product manager technical or even like TPM as well. Really good experience. Awesome, awesome experiences. That's it. I'm done. So let me go back here. And I'm back. Okay, let me go ahead and remove this. As you guys can tell, while I am talking to you, there's IM and messages coming in on LinkedIn. That's giving you a feel of how many people reach out to me in real time. So unless you have questions about my services, you're absolutely lost and confused, do reach out to me because I can guide you to the right places. But if you're going to reach out to me in private messages for a quick tip, please do show up to these live section, okay? Joey, if I've answered your questions, please give a girl a thumbs up. Let me know that it makes sense for you, okay? All righty. Oh, let me go back here. Okay, let's go with Nawal. Sorry, Nawal. Nawal, how are you, Nawal? Nawal says, how should I prepare for a virtual interview with Amazon as a senior finance manager and what to expect? That's everything that I just talked about. It doesn't matter what position you guys are interviewing for. It doesn't matter what level you guys are interviewing for. Get your story together. More so, get your shit together. Sorry. I have to let that out because so many of you are adamant about engineering position, business. Guys, they're all the same. What do you need? You need your story. The link is in the chat. Until you do your story and create every single thing out, It's forcing you to think big, okay? Finance or not, for example, tell me about the most complex problem that you ever have to solve for your customers. I can ask you the same question. It doesn't matter what your roles are, okay? If you're a finance, there's going to be a lot of questions around data, specifically data, okay? For instance, how do you solve problem with limited data? That's a huge thing at Amazon. And remember, guys, walk me through a specific example, right? I must talk about a specific example in every single one of my video in the playlist link inside the video. Okay? Carolyn, please share more about qualifying business impact for new initiative that ran 2 years, scale but got discontinued due to focus on core business. Success here is ability to launch and execute. Is that a question, Carolyn, or is that a statement? I want to make sure that I'm answering your question. For new initiatives or old initiative, it really doesn't matter. You have to have, when you're delivering your storytelling, you just need to have a flow of transition, okay? You just have to be very clear. What are you building and how are you building? How do you even know what to build? How do you know what your customers are looking for? In this case, even if it's when I hear new initiative, I'm automatically thinking about external customers, right? Like NIP, for example, new product initiative, or a lot of that stuff are on the consumer electronics space that I've worked in half of my career, are building products on that are put on the shelves. Even so, you need to really figure out how do you know what you're building on. Every single one of your experiences in the questions on what I literally just talk about 10 times, it's the same type of questions. If I were to ask you, what is your biggest business impact? You better be giving me a business impact that has to do with creating a product from scratch, or how are you supposed to build something initial stage to launch all the way to I'm sorry, from the beginning to inceptions, and what did you leverage, what problem were you trying to solve, and what were some of the hiccup in the middle of all of that. You see where I'm going? So it doesn't really matter what product line that you guys are trying to create your answers are. It's more important that you get right down to the root of how you figured this out. How? The how part, 100% of the people miss the how. They just go, yeah, I build tools together, and the tool help my internal user be able to pull their reporting and data. That's nice. How did you build this? And then they're shocked when I ask them that question. I'm like, how did you build it? I know what the end users are doing to it, but how did you get there? Why did you build it the way that you did? Okay. Amazon is the only company that dived very deep into the data quickly. You don't have to spend more than a couple sentences to talk about how you're going to get there. It's very simple. The biggest thing, another biggest thing, I feel like I've said the biggest tip about 20 times already. Another tip I wanted to share with you guys is when you're creating your story, you could start by being all over the place. Go for it. Go for it. Okay. You can have half a page, even a full page. The reason being is that I want you to reread about 3 times, and I want you to only care about taking apart the meat of your story, the important content. Now take that part and trim it down. Eventually, after rewriting each story 3 times, you should be able to come to term to keep it extremely concise. Okay? Alrighty. Alrighty then. Doris says, I'm interviewing for a senior program manager. Can you help me review my story above and beyond for your customer? Of course, Doris. Drop them on here, your STAR. I'm more than happy to review your story, okay? I will wait for your story before ending the session, Doris. So make sure you do that. Keep in mind that YouTube only allow you to put 200 words at a time. So I would put S, enter, T, enter, A, and then R, enter. Okay? That way all your stories are there. Joey says, thank you. Very valuable insight. Feel free to leave the part in the replay so that others can benefit from it as well. Joey, I love your creativity in not changing your first and last name, but I love your Photoshop photo from the worldwide internet. It's funny. Very, very creative. Alrighty. Madasart trainer. Madasart trainer. Hang on, guys. Welcome to the community, Madasart trainer. Madasart trainer. I'm not I'm not sure. It seems my previous message just got disappeared. I don't see any other I don't see any message from you. Let me scroll up one more time just to make sure that we're not missing your messages, okay? No? I don't see any messages for you. Make sure you hit enter, okay? Doris, if you have a questions to if you would like me to review your story, please drop it in. While I'm waiting for it, I will see if there's any other questions. Hi, Holly. Hope you're doing awesome as always. I'm only doing awesome because I look forward to coaching. Okay. I know that, I am probably the only coach that live stream. And when I live stream, everything is raw. I can't really edit the things that I'm saying. So I do that because it's saving me time and allowing me to hang out with you guys longer versus pre recorded video 10 minutes long. Because if I were to go to that route, in all honesty, and being a single parent, it's going to take me about 2 weeks to film, edit, and make everything pretty. I don't, I shouldn't say I don't. I try not to be perfect, but I do realize that everything that I put on YouTube stays on YouTube forever. And I wanted to cascade my knowledge and help as many people in the world as I can, which is why these live session is where I have the most fun. So thank you very much for all of you guys for being here. Mudassar Trainer says, please help me evaluate if I'm a better fit for TPM or EM. My LinkedIn profile goes, okay. All right, sure. Not a problem. Let's review your LinkedIn profile, okay? Hang on one second. Mudassar, hang on. Syntho, welcome as a new member. Okay, let's have some fun and review another LinkedIn profile, shall we? There you are. I found you. You're right here. You guys don't even connect with me. Connect with me first. I just sent you a LinkedIn request, okay? Here's the thing. If you and I are not connecting, depending on your setting, I can't see your full profile. Okay? I should probably say this before. If you want me to review your profile, make sure that your profile is public. All right? Okay, so let me share my screen right now. Let me remove all this IM. My goodness, there's a lot of message coming in. 3, 2, 1. There you go. Okay. Nice background. First of all, you don't need to put your name on your channel art because they already know your name to get rid of it. You don't need to put anything. Just simply put a channel art. Be simple. Be basic. I will not recommend putting anything too much color or too colorful on there because if you do that, it could be distracting. Okay. You see that your channel art and the words that are in there, it's not going to hit the algorithm or the buzzword anyway because it's an image. Image don't hit algorithm. Words do. Okay. Okay. Like this, it means nothing for me. So rather than writing out a paragraph, use that as keywords. What are the keywords that represent your experiences and who you are? What company do you come out of? Okay. Okay, let me go to your about section. Your about section has way too many words. All these words can simply go into your work history. All these words, no one's going to read it. So with that in mind, I would simply just put one short paragraph highlighting what you have done and your areas of expertise or your domain expertise, okay, or technical skills. Your technical skills and domain expertise are what is going to get you found. All of this is not going to get you found. Even though you have some buzzword in here, debugging and where is it? Applications, those are buzzwords. Analyze, but it doesn't really tell me a whole lot about your background. It's just a lot of words for me that I will not read, okay? And as a recruiter's eye, as you can see, the first thing I do is go straight to your education so I can get a feel of all of that. I will remove the year of your education. Guys, if you're watching, please do pay attention so I don't have to also repeat myself over and over and over again. If you want me to review your LinkedIn profile and I review a LinkedIn profile right before, it's the same feedback, right? Do not put the year of your education on your resume or your LinkedIn profile. Why? Because I can figure out how old you are. Either you're too young, you're over age of 40, 50, 60. You don't want age discrimination or biases. Yes, that still exists in all company. I'm very confident when I say that because if you look at a lot of these companies, including startup, okay, it's not just tech, even non-tech. Company has this training called managing biases. I was a trainer for Amazon for managing biases and also diversity and inclusion at one point in my career at Amazon. Companies have those because there's still a lot of biases that's going on. Why? Because as a company is growing and they're scaling, right? It takes a really long time to scale. Some company may never scale because when they're hiring so many companies, they're hiring folks from a diverse set of background. What does that mean, professional? That means that what you're saying is probably going to rub other person the wrong way. Is the course is teaching them how to be professional in a workplace where you are having the people around you feel comfortable and have a voice. Okay? Again, what did I just say? Remove the date of your academia. All right. I think I said that enough time. Okay. Maybe it's just me. I like working backward to understand your background. Okay, software engineer. You need consistency, my friend, okay? You see all of the skills? I guess you could leave them on there to help you with your buzzword. This is too much. It seems like you just kind of copy and paste from your resume, or this is just an eye coming from the recruiting background and a hiring manager, okay? It looks like someone who doesn't put the effort in their LinkedIn profile. I only care to see one brief sentence or paragraph and what have you done as a software engineer. This, no one's going to read it. It doesn't tell me anything, okay? It's too much words. I would simply just put, if you want to, give me one sentence. What is your scope and responsibility? I would focus on technologies, put all the technology. Yes, functional, that's good. So rather than saying application development, just give me 3 to 6 bullet points. How did you deliver result? What are your business impact? That's it. None of these words. Too much words. Okay. If you've been there for 7 months, at least give me a couple bullets of what have you delivered. Same thing with the rest. You've been here for 2.5 years. You better have at least 3 to 6 bullets. Like these, it really doesn't tell me much. For example, improving the project in according with new requirements. What are those requirements? What was your business impact? I have no clue what the business impacts are. I will not use this because this looks really messy. And you see the inconsistency here. You have no bullets, and then you start having a simple here. Please make it very clean. You want them to read everything. And then you have from the simple to the bullets. Be very consistent. Yes, I'm yelling at this point. Very, very consistent, okay? The same thing with the rest of this. You need to put bullet to highlight how you deliver result. What is the result? Look at this. Understanding functional requirement of the story. Task. No one needs to know that. It doesn't hit the buzzword and they're not going to read it. Remove it. Rather than that, let me give you another example right here. This one. Let's just take this for example because JUnit is a huge buzzword, okay? Huge buzzword as an SDE. I would simply just put develop, designed, and write JUnit test cases using Marketo to do what? What is your business impact? And I would just get right into the point rather than just what you have right here is describing a job description. You do not want your LinkedIn profile to look like the job description word by word because you want them to know what is your impact. You don't want to describe what you're doing. You want to describe your impact. You see the difference between the two? I guarantee you, professional, what you guys are putting on your LinkedIn profile, which tells me that's what it's on your resume, you will fumble when it comes to writing your story because it doesn't make sense. Okay? Alrighty, let's go back. 3, 2, 1. Hello, and I am back. I know my feedback is very honest and very raw, but I also feel that as your virtual coach, if I'm not honest with you, no one is going to give you that feedback. The last thing is, I don't want you guys to keep on failing interview and don't know why. I can tell you why right now. When I looked at your LinkedIn profile, I know that every single one of my customer have reached out to me on LinkedIn. Why? Because I wanted to spend the time to learn the LinkedIn profile. And I can see right off the bat how to coach you. I don't even need to have a word with you. Because when I read your resume, I can tell the way you think, which means, okay, forgive me for saying this, all over the place, having needing help to structure your stories, knowing what your stories are important. Does that sound familiar? Is that you that I'm talking about? It is all the same, okay? When I looked at your LinkedIn profile, even if it looks really neat and very concise, I can tell if I read it, and I do read things word by word. My community, my VIP cohort community member knows that as well. Okay. I do it because I genuinely care that you have the same self-awareness as what I'm seeing. For the most part, when we made a mistake on any of our branding or writing things that we do, we don't always see it and catch it. I do because it helps to have a fresh pair of eyes looking within, especially the fresh pair of eyes. This is what I do on Amazon, guys. This is what I do all day long. I have level 6 recruiters and client lead reporting to me at Amazon where I actually review their writing, which is why in the VIP coaching cohort, I also review your Amazon writing exercise because I love it. I love reviewing other people's work. I don't know why. I guess to me, it's the feeling of winning the lottery where they're very confused and they're lost. And just by me pointing them to the right directions, boom, they got it. And for me, that is just a fulfilling feeling to have. Okay? Alrighty. And Mudassar, when I looked at your resume, to be honest with you, I'm not really sure what you are a good fit on because a lot of the stuff that you have on here, it's not describing what kind of result that you are delivering. I don't want to guess because that'll be a waste of your time. Even as a senior consultant, I'm not really sure what you have been able to deliver and build. So I would ask for you to go back and spend more time in nurturing your bullets in your work history. And let's do this again next week. Okay? Let me know if we're good. I do not see that you are a TPM because I don't see any systems architectural design on there. You mentioned the buzzword once, which is engineering manager. I don't really see a whole lot of management experience on here for me to think of that as well. Even as an engineering manager or TPM, on the technical bar, there's one bar that's in common. Object-oriented design, object-oriented analysis. Are you able to build the entire systems and build it from scratch? Are you able to look at the system architecture and identify the root cause to make it better, to make it faster? That's the hiring tech bar for TPM as well as the EM, engineering manager. Okay? All righty. Okay, Doris. I'm just going to put one thing on here. So if you want to rewatch it, you can, okay? Alrighty. Doris, let me walk you through a situation when I was supporting the what project. As a project manager, by the way, what questions are you answering? If you want me to review your story, it's very important so I know what question this is for, okay? As a project manager, the client requests that I change the business analyst on the project, knowing fully well that most of the core resources were locked down to the project for the year. Okay, so the problem you're trying to solve is that the client wants you to change the business analyst, the person. It sounds like changing the person off of or removing the business analyst off of the project, it sounds like. I had a belate with the client project manager to identify what the issue was. I analyzed the impact on the schedule and budget. I reviewed the unstaffed resource pool to identify potential replacement for the stories. Got approved from the business leadership for project payroll rate reduction. I was able to provide a replacement business analyst with more experience within a week. That's a good ROI. The new BA worked better with the client team with 2% cost increase on the overall project. Okay, here's how I would redo it. It took me a second to put the puzzles together, and you don't want that. You want me to just get it right off the bat. So I would be a little bit more in depth of what you're trying to share. Okay. First of all, your situation. I would simply just say, I'd like to walk you through a situation when I was supporting the ABC client in what kind of project is this? The problem I'm trying to solve is having a business analyst replaced on a project as a request from my customer. Stop. The action I took or what I've done here is first, wanting to dive deep to figure out why the client wanted to remove this business analyst so that I know what to look for in a replacement, right? That was the part that was missing for me. With the knowledge and understanding and setting the right expectation for my customer, I was able to analyze the schedule and budget. Why? Why do you need to analyze the schedule and the budget? Why is that critical for your customer? I then reviewed the resource pool to identify potential replacement for interviews so that I could find a business analyst that's meeting the expectations from our team and for our customers. That's it. That's all you need to know. Okay. You don't need to talk about approval and all of that. Of finding a new business analyst within a week. I'm sorry. 2% cost increase on the overall project budget. What does that mean? But 2% increase more. Does that mean that you are making 2% more than the initial project? What does that mean? Because 2% is also a low number as well. So rather than using a 2%, which is a low number, I would remove that part. I would simply just say my effort yield replacing a stronger experienced business analyst in delivering the project 100% complete for my customer, in helping this customer, whatever their name is, generate the business in, I don't know, $1.5 million. What is your customer's business worth? You see where I'm going? There's two different things. When you throw numbers like that at the very end, at least you're letting the reader understand the level of scope, because if not, it sounds very general. Okay? Alrighty then. Carry on. Venus. Welcome, Venus, as a new member. Let me go back here one more time. Venus, welcome. Thank you for supporting my work. Cheers. By the way, it's very important that you all always be your own boss in doing what you love, okay? By being your own boss, I don't mean you have to work for yourself. I mean, even when you're applying to job, you should be thinking about being in the right role, doing things that you actually care about, and that you see some type of growth potential before you accept an offer. So being your own boss doesn't mean that you have to quit your job and be your own boss like me, okay? It doesn't have to be like that. Hey, a lot of folks wanted to work for employer, and there are folks who want to be entrepreneurial. In my case, I felt like I've spent over 20 years working for an employer. I just wanted to retire working for somebody. That's really it. Vanit, can you please review my LinkedIn profile? Well, what is your LinkedIn profile, Vanit? Is it, I don't want to guess. I don't want to pull the wrong person up there. If you can, if you want me to review your LinkedIn profile, you guys have to ping me the link at least an hour before the live session or the day before, so I can just go and click on my message right away. It's going to help us save a lot of the time so that I don't pull up a different name. It'll be embarrassing, okay? That I am showcasing someone else's name on here, okay? Syntho says, Oh, this is the same Cynthia who bought my resume accelerator. By the way, Cynthia, if you're a part of my resume accelerator, I don't recall you joining my private Facebook group, sir, because when you do that, I actually take my sweet time in reviewing your LinkedIn profile. I'm sorry, your resume in my private group, okay? So make sure you join the private Facebook group. Every 3 out of 10 people who bought my resume accelerator result in a job offer. That is true. That's a fact. One of them, in fact, had multiple offer from Amazon and startup as well. Because in the resume accelerator, there's also a big section for interview can't talk as well. Okay. So your question is, in the buzzword section, I need help. How do I get the buzzword through the job search? What if the buzzword does not match my skill? Excellent answer. I wanted to review your resume, sir. Okay. I don't want to put it right here in the World Wide Web that everyone can see. You're already part of my community. I want you, if you go to the Resume Accelerator on the right-hand corner, as soon as you log in, by the way, when you log into any of my courses, it's just hollylee.co. That's it. hollylee.co. When you put your email address, which is your login, and whatever password you have, if you forgot your password, just click on Forgot Password, and you will see on the far right-hand corner, it says Join Holly Lee's Community. You click Join. It's also in your introduction as well, okay? I will look forward into accepting your request in my private Facebook branding group so I can walk you through the buzzword. I talk so much about keyword and buzzword in the private community, Cynthia, okay? So don't miss out on that. That's part of your service, okay? Do that. I'll look forward into adding you. Oh, you have sent a request. You know what? Because I'm very obsessed, while I have you on here, I'm just going to take care of it right now. And just like in the workplace, if I don't take care of things that are urgent right away, I don't want to forget. Hang on. Member requests. I also have a lot of random, oh, there you are. I just approved you, okay? I have a lot of folks who sent me a request that are not part of the cohort. So I wanted to make sure that I know exactly who you are. Got it. You have been accepted to the group, okay? Do this. Cynthia, please give me a PDF version of your resume. Put it in the Facebook chat. Don't forget to send an introduction because other people in the community, even though they don't say it, they do read every single thing in the community, okay? Excellent. Excited to have you in there. Okay. Above and beyond for your customer. Doris, I like the concept of your story, but your story needs to have more depth in how you're delivering result, okay? Your result needs to be a lot more powerful, and don't mention anything that is 1%, 2%, basically anything less than 10%, don't mention it. Rather than saying 10%, maybe rather than generating 2% sales or revenue, what about efficiency? Did you not, because of your effort, increase 100 from 20, 30% to 100% efficiency into delivering a multi-million dollar or $1 million, I don't know, a couple $100,000 project for your customer? You see where I'm going? So don't talk small number, talk big numbers. Scale and scope is key, okay? Mudasar Trainer said, just wanted to check the certification and feature section not count for evaluation. It does. All of your academia section count, but your certification, if you want my opinion, is not that important, okay? If you ask another career coach, everyone will probably say it's all about the certification, the PMP all of that stuff. At the end of the day, guys, your experience is worth more than your education and also certification. Your experience is worth a lot more. If you are non-tech, for example, and you have a lot of the experience and you want to get into like an Amazon, then yes, if you have an AWS certification as an example, it does matter. You see where I'm going? But at the end of the day, they look at your certification as an added bonus that you really want to work for that technical environment. Okay? Versus looking at the meat of your story your work history, that you have those experiences. Okay? So that's a difference between the two. Venus says, I'm there in your connection. Okay, we are going to do one more, and let's take a look at Venus. Venus, Yoshi. I don't think you're going to like this. I have a lot of VNet Yoshi. Let's see here. VNet. A lot. Yoshi. I apologize. There's so many of you. I'm trying to find you. Give me. Okay, I found you. I believe this is you. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is you. If this is not you, I wanted to apologize. Whomever you are, you're getting a free LinkedIn makeover. Alrighty. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. There you go. Okay. VNet, VNet. There you are. Okay. The background, I don't like it. It doesn't really tell me a whole lot about your brand. It just looks like you have a tablet in the back. PMP, PMI, AWS, it doesn't, all of this certification, it's not necessary, to be honest. Let me just pause for a second and look at your entire experience. I'm more interested in buzzword instead of just all of that stuff. Okay? Big company don't use certification as a buzzword. Startup does. Or smaller company, they use certification. Like Amazon, they will never search through PMI or PMP. They don't look at that stuff. Okay? Again, get rid of your year of education. I talked about this in the last couple review. Technology analyst. It's the same review that I'm giving to everybody, by the way. You have no bullets. You should have 3 to 6 bullets, okay? At least 3 to 6 bullets highlighting what you have done that is missing for me. I have clients, quite a number from Infosys, by the way, and they're level 6 Amazonian. But in looking at this, I have no clue what you have built, what you have done, what you've scaled at all. Lead cross-functional team right here, tester and all of that. That's nice, but what are you leading them to do? Let me make this a little bigger. Oh, that's too big. Okay. So it's just very, very generic. It really looks like you are more of describing a job description. You're not describing what you have already done. For example, lead steering committee for requirement prioritization, scope, and change management. What was the result of that? What was your impact? Okay. And I feel like you're repeating yourself, like leading requirement workshop with business leaders. It's just, you don't even need this. You can just take this all out. Just get to the point. As a vice president, how did you build and scale globally? Do you have any global experience? What is the amount of people that was reporting to you? What was your ability to influence, and were you able to influence when generating how much money for credit sushi or sushi? Sus? Sorry, I can't pronounce that. Right? For the credit company. So all of these are not highlighting as a VP. As a VP, you should have a large number popping all over the place. This one says the only example that has some kind of number, manage budget up to 4 MCHF. I have no clue what that is. I don't come from a finance background, so you need to have things on your credential that can be relatable to all the tech company. Spell it out if you must, okay? Manage budget up to 4 million. I'm assuming this is 4 million. So put the dollar sign next to it. A cross-functional team up to 40 members. 40 member is a very low number. As a VP, I would remove 40. Okay? I would simply just say manage a budget up to, it's almost like you're guessing the number. Just be firm. Be firm, okay? Manage a budget, 40 million plus. Cross-functional team. What are those teams? Finances, marketing, so on and so forth. Or it's the global team, finance, services, technology. You see where I'm going? So you're giving the interviewer an impression that you are managing hundreds and thousands of people and not 40. Okay? So that's just one example. For the rest of your experience, even as a technical project manager, just glancing through, I'm not seeing anything technical about this. I see data analytics, but as a TPM, I don't see anything where you have built, designed, developed, or scale. I don't see any of that on here. So your entire branding is lacking, my friend, okay? Let's take a look at your about section. Again, this is just way too much word. I would absolutely have this thing called domain expertise, which is all of your program project management experience. I would have a what is it called? Oh my God, brain freeze. Technical expertise or technical skills. You must have that section being a TPM. And right now, as evaluating your background, I don't see that you will be a TPM fit. Probably program manager, but even so, I have a lot of questions. I don't see a whole lot of program management scaling in what you have built. And because there's so much word, I have to find it and read word by word. Interviewers are not going to read anything word by word unless you make it appealing, okay? But since this is the last LinkedIn profile we're going to review, I'm going to pull up my personal resume so you guys can get a glimpse. I am tempted to share one of my customers. All of them have perfect example, but I can't do that because they're my customers. I'm going to walk you through, okay? All of you guys, right here. Number one, let's start from top down. Your channel art represents who you are and what you do. This is what I do. I help get you hired for FANG company, period. On the very top, it's important for you to know that I run 2 live coaching, the time and the date, and Pacific Standard, because everyone asked me the same question. Everyone asked me the same question, even though it's all over my YouTube, my branding, and social media. They still ask me the same question. Even my thumbnail has a timestamp. So you see where I'm going? So if somebody land on your LinkedIn page, when you do that, you notice that I don't put a whole bunch of color and be all over the place. I use red because that is my brand, and I just like red. Your photo needs to be a semi-professional photo selfie. You can use selfie, but when you use selfie, make sure that you are groomed correctly. I will not use t-shirt. I would dress business casual, and don't be so close to the camera. That is a perfect image, okay? So you can do it in portrait mode on your phone. Your headline is where you're going to get found, your buzzword, okay? A lot of you guys found me on LinkedIn is because of this right here. When I respond to you, the first thing you see is this part. People care that they work with a career coach coming from 90% of the FANG companies, Microsoft as well, and Nokia. I just don't put it on there. And I want my audience to know that I am a certified coach. I work with technology leaders, and I want them to know my result, which I actually have helped a couple thousand people in 2020 land an offer. Okay? When people look at your headline, you should know right away what your niche is. So when I look at your headline, I should know, right? So I'm not going to put, like SPPC is certificate, like all this. I don't even do that. Bachelor's degree, I'm like, nope, I don't even care for that. This right here, this is on your mobile phone. I highly recommend that you guys put here. It's called the pronouns on your mobile phone. If you go to your setting, don't waste it. You have 10 seconds. Introduce yourself. Don't say my first and last name is this. No. Ready? 1, 2, 3. My name is Holly Lee. I am a career coach in helping technology leaders land position with their top FANG companies of their choice. That's it, right? It's a one-liner introduction so that your audience, the recruiter, and the hiring manager know what you're fit for. I would say I'm John Doe. I'm John Doe with 20 plus years of experience as a technical program manager, interested to continue scaling, interested to continue building and scaling technologies in the cloud infrastructure platform, period. You see that? Very specific, very niche, straight to the point. Okay? All right, let's go to my about section, okay? About section, your first sentence or two, it's all about you. Tell me about yourself. Get to the point, people. Get straight to the point. How many years experience do you have? Who have you helped? How have you helped? This is your credibility, okay? And then you go down to your buzzword. You guys found me because a lot of these are the buzzword, okay? Just like how I've been a speaker for Microsoft and now I'm going to be a speaker for AWS Women in Tech is because I have those buzzwords on here. Okay? The one thing that you don't do is put URL, link, your email, your phone number. Please do not do any of that. Please don't. There's a lot of robots and spammer on here as well. Okay? And you go very, very quickly down. I don't want to use my business, but let's just use relevancy of my last position. If I'm looking for a job, I would absolutely put 6 bullets in every single one of my experiences because I'm not looking for a job and I don't have the time. I just put 1 bullet so that if you land on my LinkedIn profile, you should see You see the consistency? Very clean. Build 70% recruiting team, hitting my goal 2 consecutive cycles in a row, 120%. That's it. I'm done talking. Okay. So if you're going to reach out to me for a talent leader position, you know what my capability is. And I mentioned my role and responsibility right there. Very consistent. Okay. I do the same thing here. I mentioned my role and responsibility right here, my global experience. I put 3 bullets. Again, if I'm looking for work, I would probably need to expand more. I'm not looking. So I just want to get right to the point. Okay. Very high level with depth. Okay. I hired 300 plus people in 2017. I'm a global trainer for Amazon. I'm the mentor award. I mentor level 6s at Amazon to be successful at Amazon, especially onboard them, even my peer, other recruiting managers and leaders. Okay. So this is just a pattern. If you take a look at that, the consistency, one very short sentences or two. What do you do? Who are you? And highlights. What have you done? Okay. I'm not going to read every single thing on here. If you go to my education, look how clean that looks. No date whatsoever. In fact, I don't even put my certification on here. I am CCNA hardware certified. I don't even put that on here because no one cares. Okay. Well, I'm not saying that you shouldn't put it on here. I just choose not to do that because I know that having the certification really doesn't do any justice, that I'm going to get the job. People are going to hire me based on what I can bring on the table. Okay. That's it. And we are going back to the screen. 3, 2, 1. I am back. I will get the changes made. You have great value suggestion. You're welcome. All right, everybody. We are going to quickly wrap this up. I will do the best that I can. We talked so much about interview prep in this video, so I will take this video down sometime over this weekend, and I will repurpose it to a 10-minute so you could rewatch. And if you want me to leave your LinkedIn review on here as a share, please do give me permission into sending me a message on LinkedIn. Let me repeat. If you want to give me permission in sharing either your story or your LinkedIn profile to the public viewer to help other people, please reach out to me on LinkedIn and said, Holly, yes, you have my permission to share my LinkedIn review with you. If not, I will take it off if I don't hear from you. Okay? Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting my work. It's going on 2 years strong that I have started as a content creator. I'm so very excited. And if you guys are joining in late today, make sure you check out the link I have for you down here. It is the Woman in Tech in AWS in India. It will be in India where I will be answering your questions. It's a full day event, but I have a half an hour talk in how I can land. No, I'm not landing it for you. In how I can help you land your dream job with top FANG technology company by you showing up to this free event on September 24th, hosted by AWS Women in Tech Day. You don't have to be a woman to attend. You all know that, right? It's just that they're trying to inspire and motivate as many women as possible. And guys, here's a kicker. English is my 4th language. I am LGBT. I'm a lesbian. I'm a single mom. I'm over the age of 40. Let me just tell you like it is. I am Asian Vietnamese. I'm definitely not American Asian as well. If I can end up working for Facebook, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Nokia, if I have had clients, large multi-billion-dollar account clients like Siemens Services, SAP, guess what, guys? You can do it too. And I wanted to motivate and continue inspiring all of you because so many of you guys are diversity. How do I know this? Because in my coaching cohort, VIP coaching, 99% of you guys are diverse. Don't be scared because at the end of the day, anyone can work for those top companies. I will see you next week.